Yeah, the next hat on the rack here is a baseball cap. Dad was a member of the Goff Kirby Coal Company baseball team at the Goff Kirby mining town at Deegan Station. That's spelled Deegan, and that was on the Bessemer and Lake Erie Railroad. And that was just one of many coal mine stations in that area. There's a large deposit of soft coal in the area, and every coal town, and there were a lot of them very close together out there, and they had their own little league, I guess you'd say. That was very important. They competed rather eagerly for the championship of that area of Butler County. And the railroad station at the coal mine town of Goff Kirby was on the Bessemer and Lake Erie Railroad. The railroad, of course, was owned by Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate. And yes, now the coal that was mined there in the Goff Kirby mine was loaded onto gondola cars on the regular Bessemer and Lake Erie Railroad branch and sent down to Neville Island, north of Pittsburgh, where Mr. Frick operated the coke ovens. And that forced out the gases such as hydrogen and sulfur. The material come out of the coal that they could use for medicinal purposes, and also they had the artificial sweetener. It was labeled with a trade name saccharin. We have it today in little pink packages in restaurants, and I can't stand it, but they have it available. The principal reason for cooking the coal in Mr. Frick's coke ovens was to get the hydrogen and sulfur and other impurities out of the coal, because they used the coke they would use in firing the blast furnaces, and they wanted all the contaminants out that they could get out so it wouldn't blend into the steel and weaken it. The coke was transshipped by rail down to Pittsburgh. Now, some of the coke was also transported on by river barge on the Allegheny, went down and became the Ohio at the Point in Pittsburgh, and then shipped by barge up the Ohio River, and then on to the Cuyahoga River and up to Cleveland, so it could be used in the steel mills operating in Cleveland.
So what was your father's baseball team called?
Well, it was the Goff Kirby mine team, and of course these uniforms were wool barathea. If you can imagine wearing a 100% wool uniform in July and August during the baseball season, because it was hot back then too. But that was the type of uniform they wore, and it was always 100% wool, and I imagine it's quite scratchy. I had the whole uniform, the whole baseball uniform, of course, but it was a matter of just how much I could save from it, and I chose to save the cap. The next item hanging there is a J.C. Higgins fielder's glove. Dad was a fielder, so that was his position on the team. Dad played, I believe he played outfield and shortstop occasionally. So this J.C. Higgins leather baseball glove is a real treasure as far as I'm concerned. And so it must have cost him quite a bit of money at the time. I think the players on the team were responsible for buying their individual items like gloves. So I'm sure Dad paid quite a price for that.